Welcome to day 4, Mobilizing the Spine, chair version. So we'll start our practice today in what we'll call seated mountain pose. I'd say choose a chair that's pretty sturdy and allows you to sit relatively upright. We'll begin sitting away from the chair back. So I'm not leaning back. I'm pretty close to the front edge of the chair. I have my feet walked forward enough and wide enough that I do feel a little weight on them. So it's like I'm resting on a tripod here. Become aware of sensation in the soles of the feet and how the weight is balanced between the balls and the heels and from the right to the left. Feel the way your sitting bones make contact with the chair. And feel the way your hands rest on your thighs. Now go inward for a moment, either closing the eyes or just relaxing the gaze towards the floor. Think for a moment on what you hope to gain from your practice today. What's your sankalpa, your heart's desire? And now, please bring your very simple, direct attention to the sensation of breath as it moves through the spine. The first question might be, can you feel the movement of breath, period? And then, are you able to sense any movement of the spine that accompanies the breath? A no answer is okay. So whether you can naturally sense breath in the spine or not, I'd like you to begin to imagine that on the inhale, there's a sense of length through the spine. And on the exhale, there's a sense of support and stability. So the inhale creates a sensation of length. And the exhale creates a sense of support. Now I'd like to take that a bit further. That length on the in-breath. Can you experience it as a kind of lifting of the sternum, the breastbone, away from the belly? And that sense of support on the exhale, can you experience it as a very gentle hugging of the belly in towards the spine? So the length creates space between the sternum and belly on the in-breath, and the support is the belly hugging in on the out-breath. Now let your breath relax for a moment. No particular concentration. Just let it be free in your body. So there's lots of ways of thinking about and moving with the breath, depending on what you're trying to accomplish. So this is just the way we're going to focus on the breath because it supports the movements we're going to be doing. And these are movements designed to work with and accentuate that natural lengthening that occurs on the in-breath and the natural stabilizing that occurs on the out-breath. So the first of these is called Chakravakasana. And if you've done this video with me before, you are welcome to start with me. If this is your first time, you might take a moment, watch a round or two, and then join as you feel ready. So as you next inhale, draw slightly back with the hands and elbows and accentuate that lift, sternum away from the belly. And on the exhale, accentuate that hug, belly to spine, round the back and slide the hands down the legs. On the inhale, slide the hands up, lift the chest away from the belly. It's fine if the chin wants to tilt up a bit. And on the exhale, hug the belly in, round the back, slide the hands down. So once you get the idea and you know where we're going, please follow the pace of your own breath. You don't have to rush or wait for me. So the in-breath is creating that length, especially focused on the front spine. And the exhale is creating that stability in the front body while stretching the back spine. Let's do that one more time, please. Let it feel good to you. And the next time you inhale, slide the hands up, bring yourself back to neutral, seated mountain pose. Please pause, feel your breath, feel the effect of this first simple movement. Okay, so we've mobilized the front and back of the spine. Let's focus for a moment on the sides of the spine, coming into a side bend. So let's begin by stretching the left arm forward and then overhead. If overhead is not going to work for you today, what if you come across like this instead? Come and encircle this wrist with the fingers of the opposite hand. First, lengthen the whole spine up, feel the arm lift, and then side bend just a little to the right. So we're opening up this whole side seam of the body. If you're not reaching overhead, it would look like this. Make your neck happy. You can stay looking straight forward. You could tilt a little to look toward the ceiling. Breathe into the sides of the ribs especially. And now float the spine back to center. Float the arms back down to your lap. Reach your right arm forward and overhead. Across is fine. Come and get this wrist. Lengthen the spine. Lift the arm straight up first. Gentle side bend to the left. Open up this whole side seam on the right side, especially breathing into the space between the ribs. And now float the spine back to center. Relax the arms back to your lap. Pause, feel, notice where your breath goes. Okay, now I'd like to do a movement that I feel mobilizes the spine in all directions, on all sides. At least it can. Downward facing dog using a chair. So this is nice because you get all of the mobilization of the spine that down dog gives. It's a very symmetrical and complete stretch without so much weight bearing on the shoulders and wrists. So you don't have to move your chair. I just did it so you can see me. Please stand facing your chair seat, maybe just a few inches away from it. Look down, bring your hands to either side of the chair seat like this. So can you see I have ring and pinky finger kind of curled around the edges? And now step one foot back and then the other, and let your torso come down. So the heels I want more or less placed underneath the hips. Have as much bend in the knees as you need to bring the torso in line with the arms and start to pull your hips back. So we're primarily interested in the stretch of the back, less so the hamstrings, backs of the thighs. So if your hamstrings are tight, bend your knees to take them out of the equation. Head is floating in line with the spine. Arms are reaching forward away from the hips. Find your breath. Beautiful. Please step one foot forward and then the other. Bring your hands to your hips. Help yourself up. Just pause for a moment. Stand there. Feel the effect of your posture. And we'll go back to seated, please. One last sequence of movement here. And this movement is based around some of the same principles as Chakravakasana, but the body's going to be a little more free to move rather than fixed. So this is Vajrasana, lightning bolt. And once again, if you've done this with me before, start with me. If you are just starting this, watch a round or two, join as you're ready. Begin in seated mountain. Relax your arms to your side. As you inhale, stretch your arms overhead. As you exhale, sweep the backs of the hands to the low back and bow forward over the legs. On the inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Feel the sternum lift off the belly. And on the exhale, hug the belly in, round the back over the thighs. On the inhale, if arms won't go overhead, you could look like this. Arms out, turn palms up. Make this work for your body. Exhaling. If you have the range of motion and the inclination, you could touch your fingers overhead, you could look up. And on the exhale, you could bow a little lower down between the knees. A couple more, please. Last one. And this one, as you exhale, join the hands. Guide them in front of your face. Let the thumbs rest to your sternum. Lower your hands to your lap. Please come back into seated mountain pose. And bring simple attention back to the movement of breath through your spine. How's it moving now? Please press one hand over your heart and cover it with your other hand. Think back to the intention, the heart's desire you connected with at the start of your practice. Affirming now how it might guide you as you move back out into your day. Our practice is complete. Thank you so much for taking this time to mobilize your spine with me. I hope you feel the benefits throughout the day. I'll see you tomorrow.